Hello and welcome back for Game 2, where Evil Geniuses Academy will be facing off against 100 Thieves Academy. Let's take a look at the starting rosters, Crumbs. Selecting blue side, it's EGA. And this one's a doozy. We'll talk about it in a moment. In the top lane, Kumo. In the jungle, Svenskeren. In the mid lane, Brandini. In bot support, it is Deftly and Matt still. And of course, their coach, Team Kiro.
Yeah, not sure where these players are from. I feel like I've seen them before. Well, facing them on the red side, it's 100 Thieves Academy. FakeGod in the top lane, Contractz in the jungle, Soligo in mid lane, Prismal on bot, his support is Breezzyy, and their coach, Kelsey Moser.
Now, due to visa problems, Svenskeren is starting in place of Kide in the jungle, and Brandini is starting in place of Xayah, their intended mid laner, with LCS top laner Kumo starting for Brandini in the top lane.
Yeah, so both Kumo and Svenskeren played in the loss versus Dignitas yesterday, and they'll be marathoning week 1 playing the LCS game as well. Sure, Deftly and Matt are old LCS teammates on Golden Guardians, but this is not the original Academy team that was intended. It's not the synergies that were envisioned, and in the opening game where they had Kumo in mid lane and Svenskeren jungle, it did not look refined, and I totally get why their players aren't here.
Yeah, a difficult situation, certainly, but it is fun to see all these different swaps around for EG. On the side of 100 Thieves, though, they have FakeGod, Soligo, and Prismal returning to 100 Thieves Academy, with the big changes being the addition of Contractz in the jungle and a brand new face to the league in Breezzyy playing support.
Yeah, Contractz, I'm very curious to see what he does on 100 Thieves, having not the greatest season on Golden Guardians, but FakeGod is somebody that I want to keep my eyes on because he's replacing Someday in an odd way, because Someday is now obviously back into the LCS team, but FakeGod was a really strong rookie his entire time. He just got thrown into the deep end and is now kind of recollecting himself, and we'll see what he has learned from the LCS team that can apply to Academy.
Yeah, I think it's really important for everyone to kind of separate Academy FakeGod from LCS FakeGod, because they were very different players put in very different situations, right? FakeGod, when he entered Academy, was a rookie. He was basically 4 rookies in stunt. That was Kelsey's original 100 Thieves Academy team. He was extremely promising, the first pick from that year of Scouting Grounds. So another Scouting Grounds player who looked promising, being put into an Academy team, looked really good in top lane in Academy.
Got a cool name.
And then was like, you know what? Due to import stuff and how that works around, we got to figure this out. So we had to move Someday down because we wanted to move Ryu up because they couldn't fit all the slots out. So FakeGod was basically said, hey, come into a league where we're pretty sure you're not ready yet, but we think you can hold your own. We believe this is the best iteration of the roster to start winning games, which I believe at the time they did at least pick back up their season. But now FakeGod's back where he used to be. And this is somewhere where he's been very comfortable being aggressive, just 1v1ing people in his lane, and just kind of being the player he was promised to be when he first got drafted.
And I am definitely sure that he has an increased motivation now that he got a taste of the LCS team, what it's like to compete against the best the LCS has to offer. And otherwise, he wouldn't be here again, looking to get back on top, as many of the Academy players' intentions are to kind of grind out here, master themselves, and then move up into the LCS circuit.
And kind of the other piece of 100 Thieves that is returning is, of course, Prismal. You mentioned Someday. How do we say this? Just completely, like, the dictionary definition of smurfing in a league.
Hard
That's what
carry.
Someday did in Academy. They are, by the way, the defending Academy champions, in large part to Someday's contribution to that team. But the other person, the other name on the lips of everyone talking about this team was Prismal. Much younger player, promising AD, I believe had played in Collegiate, probably Scouting Grounds as well. Come up in the scene, and he is certainly someone to watch on this team as well. Now that FakeGod is rejoining the team, Prismal was kind of the backbone of a team that was certainly led by Someday, but he didn't do 100% of the work. He couldn't.
He was the backbone, and it's going to be interesting to see how he shifts that initial approach of being the backbone, playing a lot of Ezreal, into now a meta that is completely upside down. You're no longer playing what was Season 9 bot lane carries. You're now going with Aphelios, with Senna, with Misfortune. Like, this is nothing we saw last year, so I'm curious to see if he still finds the same success on these carries that get killed instantly. Somebody looks your way, you are done. There's no peeling for you, so a lot of it comes down to what can the solo lanes do when your carry gets taken out.
And of course, on the EG side, to kind of temper their first loss, it was not a pretty looking game. they did play Dignitas Academy, who, as we saw yesterday in their stage game at the end of LCS, looking very, very good with 5 former LCS players hanging around. Kumo was also playing mid that game. I think he didn't like that experience too much because he picked on mid, Tanner counterpicked Zoe, and it was a mess.
Yeah, Kumo.
So he's like, Brandini, it's your turn.
Ornn against Zoe, not the matchup I would opt into in the mid lane, but I think Kumo has an incredibly interesting story because of how he ended up on this team. He is now essentially part of one big bundle from Cloud9 that gets put in here, and he had 2 games in the LCS on Jace where he got a lot of attention and had mixed results. Now he's expected to hold his own while Svenskeren focuses his attention on world champion Bang and Jizuke in the mid lane. So what can Kumo do on his own? I think Academy is going to be a good tempering place to see what this team can do because he's going to play LCS just a few hours later today.
Yeah, I think LCS MVP Svenskeren is truly being tested. He's got 3 different mid laners in 1 week.
Yeah.
He's got a whole new set of teammates to work around. He's got a smile on his face. I appreciate that. He's got a long week of games ahead of him.
Listen, he walks into the studio and there's a giant mural of him every time. So I think that does something for your confidence.
That thing is awesome. I assume it made the rounds on social media, but it's in the lobby of the LCS studio, and it's just, whoever did that, huge shout out. It's an incredible bit of work.
It might almost matter more than the trophy. I'd rather get a mural of myself than a trophy.
I'm kind of aligned. All right, well, we're waiting for champs. Let's hear from Deftly about being reunited with his best buddy, Matt.
Honestly, I'm really excited to play with Matt because I first played with Matt at the very start of my LCS career, and I feel like I was a very green player, and I had him kind of like teach me the ropes of things, and I'm excited to show him how much I've improved over the past year of just playing full-time LCS. And yeah, I think like even when we were in 10th place in 2018, I always felt like I could rely on him and like we'd always perform. So that's something I'm definitely looking forward to.
His rock, his pillar.
And Deftly certainly, I mean, he's becoming a journeyman at this point between both leagues, actually. Was on GGS and then back to Academy and then on C9 and then their Academy team and then also playing for the LCS team at the time. And now on another completely different team, at least reunited with a familiar face here in Matt, who has been one of the consistent veterans, it feels like, in this scene. Certainly a player that has reached heights before, could potentially get there again. But I think if you're looking for a player to manage your younger talent, Matt is a very good person to go to.
That's why it makes sense that Matt is paired up with these younger players that Kumo and Svenskeren are playing for today. Matt and Deftly very solid in the bottom lane, should just hold their own and guide the young rookies into the LCS or the Academy, wherever they may be. But now they've got Svenskeren and Kumo to be the voices of reason here. And I think when you've got the MVP jungler, you probably listen to him more than yourself.
Well, we'll see what he says in this particular champ select. We will bring you the draft this go round. LeBlanc and Azir being banned away from Soligo. Brandini trying to protect himself from his newfound role in the mid lane. Akali also being banned away. I suppose that is a champion you can also take top lane. So just trying to keep that out of Brandini's hands. Don't want that position to go wrong, because if you're 100 Thieves, I believe you're thinking that that one feels pretty comfortable already.
Yeah, and it's not 10.2 yet, so the nerfs are not here. And EG really just trying to get 100 Thieves solo lanes away from their comfort zone, especially Soligo. Last split, he was known for Azir and LeBlanc. Once again, get rid of those. In his first game, he got off to a great start, but was unable to have the proper synergy with Contractz to snowball the advantage properly. One of the difficult aspects of LeBlanc. Sure, you can get a lead, but can you push it all the way to the Nexus to claim a victory? It gets tougher as the minutes go by because she's not that big AoE mid laner that just stalls out a game.
I also like Rumble and Senna been mainstays of the recent meta. So we'll see what EG want to take for their first priority here. Aphelios is something definitely can consider. I believe he did play it in their opening game, but deciding on Lucian instead. Ooh. So potentially flexing 3 spots here.
Yeah, that's just the danger of the Lucian first pick. And for EG, it's clear they're going to need a lot of crowd control now. You don't pick a Lucian if you're not planning on just having a wealth of CC to go alongside him. So the Elise is one of the picks that pairs excellently with him because In the solo lane, Lucian with Elise is an incredibly deadly combination to deny you from the minion wave, build up a wave, then tower dive you. So at least getting it off these hands means that EG's synergy with Lucian is a lot weaker.
It does feel like the more you talk about Elise Crumbs, Elise plus any champion in range seems to be a good combination.
Physical damage. It has to be physical because
Okay,
you cannot allow anybody to build magic resistance and bypass your entire combination.
All right, well, Aphelios and Elise, the first two picks for the Thieves, quite powerful there. Svenskeren picking up Old Faithful there with Lucian. There's Mordekaiser also for EG as Pantheon going to make a second appearance in as many games today.
Yeah, Pantheon and Elise, very strong combination to set you up, especially if it is in the
Back up
mid lane.
Renekton.
Yeah, there it is. Back up Renekton. Point and clicks done. Follow up into the Cocoon. So they've got a way to make action happen early game for the Thieves. It's up to them to find the opportunity and kind of risk it, because you're going to have to dive a lot.
Yeah, well, definitely continuing to eat bans here as Varus is the first one in phase 2 for the Thieves. That is Aurelia on the other side. So keeping the solo lane champions out of FakeGod and Soligo's hands.
So these are thinking, where are Evil Genius's picks going? Because Mordekaiser can be put into the mid lane as well. So you have a lot of flexing power here for the Thieves. And I think now they're just getting rid of what they don't want to deal with personally, instead of thinking exactly where Evil Geniuses is going for their pick. So deny the support right away and then take your own support, let EG decide, and then you've got that last pick to really figure out where you want the Pantheon to go. That is also a flex.
Of course, Matt, once named Matt Life after a very famous Korean Thresh player. Pretty good at that champion, like a lot of the supports here in Academy, so gonna keep that one out of his hands. I do like the respect there for the Thieves in the 2v2. Also given back by EG as they ban away Leona from Breezzyy, who has been a pleasure to have back in the metagame.
I think the Thieves needs to go for Nautilus here. I think this is a really good Nautilus game. You don't have to deal with the Leona. Thresh is out.
It's a good spot to pick it too, because maybe Soligo's, fancying to bring the mid back, but it is Braum perhaps instead that will be the pickup, like similarly styled support.
Okay. It denies the Lucian Braum combo. That could be really annoying to deal with in the bottom lane as well. So it's a much safer play out of them. And we'll see if they pair that up with Elise's action in the bottom lane, or it just means that they're using Braum to be able to go to the solo.
All right, so it is solo lane Lucian, which I think was maybe your inkling, but I like this. Xayah and Rakan there for EG. Something we have not seen that often, actually.
Yeah, the Rakan is kind of the backup engage right now when all the tanks are gone. Well, you can always go Rakan to have a reliable way to find a team fight, and he's still very, very powerful. It's all about getting the fight started, and he's one of the best.
Pantheon mid, I believe, with this last pick of Aatrox for the Thieves. So Soligo, as you said, was really known for being good on the champions he specialized in. This is a departure from the Azir LeBlanc that was banned out here. And I'm wondering if it's a counter pick or just a straight up good champion.
It's just very dangerous as a 2v2. That's, I think, what they're looking for. Last game, it was Lucian LeBlanc. This time, it's Elise Pantheon. Seems like a trend in 100 Thieves is drafting a very strong early 2v2 composition that can put the pedal to the metal, hopefully get a gold lead that allows you to control dragons, and then snowball the game through a Dragon Soul into a Baron. Now, they didn't execute it last time. It's not the easiest to pull off. You need a lot of vision. You need a lot of accurate timings and invading blue buffs. That's what we didn't see last time around. That's what we need to see today.
Well, I don't like what EG's got going on here. They've picked some fairly aggressive lanes, especially for Kumo there in top lane with the Lucian, so...
Oh, the Lucian is going top?
Yes.
Okay.
Feels like FLICKR took a page out of Gooni's book, and then Kumo behind him on Cloud9 just started copying the homework down.
That's a tough matchup because Lucian now is not getting as much gold from the plates, so you're not snowballing as well as you used to before. And without that gold, what value are you adding to your team as top lane Lucian? You're not split pushing anything. You're trying to join fights later, so your mechanics have to be unreal to make this pick work.
We'll see if Kumo can get it done. Certainly in LCS last year, was playing Jace only and certainly had success being aggressive in his lanes. But we'll have to figure out if this kind of stitched together EG can pull out a win here, or if 100 Thieves will put their first one on the board.
So I think the Thieves are going to look for exclusively solo lane action here. The lanes are all set up to go for that. Kumo is a sitting duck. All he has to do is use dash aggressively, and Contractz is going to be there to punish him.
Well, certainly paying close attention to the two junglers here. One former LCS, one current and reigning MVP, but have met up a few times. And we'll see where they do look to start early as a pause. Just to breathe.
I think it just shows that being jungle MVP is so team reliant so much of the time. I mean, I believe it was even him when he was being interviewed about it. It's like, yeah, you know, so much of this is actually credited to my teams. They do so much to protect me, to set me up. And you can't expect a jungler to just slot into any team randomly and be able to deliver the performances that he can, being in the lineup for multiple years.
Yep. Has at least had some time with Kumo. That was, as you said, part of the package that went over to EG along with Xayah, who's still around the studio waiting to play his game later tonight.
It's just such a bad 2v2. Lucian leads in, no one sets up anybody, all skill shots.
Just invade. Push and invade, don't worry about it.
Yeah. It's a difficult
Just type
style.
I'll try to be like, yo, meet me at the crab.
Yeah.
4 minutes.
Who will buy it? Will somebody believe it? They'll tell your team not to show up. They always do. They're always there, just waiting.
Nobody ever wants to 1v1 you.
They think you're trolling. You'll get reported.
All right, so it seems like a player on stage has a keyboard issue. We'll get that resolved ASAP. But for now, there is a pause.
Whoa. Happy birthday, Papa Smith.
Oh, that's true.
Hey, look at that.
Fun fact.
Yes.
Papa Smithy's birthday. Very easy to remember if you're from Australia. It's on Australia Day, which is the 26th of January.
What do you celebrate in Australia? The arrival of British people on Australia?
I believe so.
Okay.
Mostly we eat sausages and play music.
Isn't that every day in Australia?
Yes.
Just barbecuing and having a good time.
It is great. It's truly great.
Yes, now we've got the correct stands for both sides, 100 Thieves against EG. I think that the Thieves should be feeling really confident here, knowing that they have a lineup that has some core parts still together, that they're up against an EG that hasn't even had their entire roster. I cannot imagine that a lot of the preparation for Svenskeren and Kumo was focused on the Academy game compared to the LCS game they have to play just a few moments later against the 100 Thieves LCS.
If nothing else, I think wanting to play a fairly fast game with something like Lucian and Elise might help you in the sense that you do not want to play a 60-minute grind when you have to play an LCS game 2 games later. So
I'll tell you, I've actually had to run this circuit, not only slotting into a team that you've never played with before, but also playing it into Academy and having to do LCS after. You usually just say, give me a comfort pick and let's just go. And just follow me and we'll see what happens.
And I think certainly for Sven, and I think for Kumo as well, there is comfort here in these picks. Brandini, though, up against Soligo. The Mordekaiser mid, like taking a top champ there. Of course, as you mentioned, Crumbs,
you mentioned this.
Serviceable mid.
You mentioned this. Just invade. Just use the range advantage and the level 1 advantage to get
power. Smite battle. Who's gonna win? It is.
Oh no! Kumo gets it.
Ooh. All right. You know what? That might have been intended.
No way.
How do you win the lane now? It's FakeGod.
Oh, but now
your opponent has red buff.
Svenskeren started Q, and now he doesn't have Smite. You're supposed to start W on Lee Sin to minimize the damage that you're taking early. So he's gonna be in a wealth of trouble doing this.
He's doing the blue buff solo. He's not afraid, Crumbs. He'll be just fine, I'm sure. There's no way he dies to this camp, right?
Oh no, he's fine. He's probably gonna have to do an odd pathing when it comes to incorporating ganks in his route. He's so low. Oh, this hurts.
It's good. Oh, calculated there from Sven. And gonna go straight to the other side of his jungle, where looks like Soligo has already gotten the information. Does get a ward straight onto the Raptors, but Sven, good awareness. Just gonna walk all the way around it.
Yeah, that's really clutch out of him, not wanting to give away not only his HP, but his pathing, because otherwise that would prompt Contractz to do whatever he wants, because he's now ahead of him. Having a smite up. Who would have known?
Who would have thought? Is Sven gonna smite the thread buff when it comes back up? Doesn't want to lose that to a potential invade from Contractz. Is Brandini just gonna miss clawing in Soligo there? I will tell you, not super experienced in this matchup, but excited to see how it plays out in the 1v1.
Mordekaiser Pantheon. You're not an expert in that?
I am not an expert
no.
in Mordekaiser Pantheon, no.
I don't even think Brandini's an expert in that one.
All right, well, we can at least talk about the other side of what happened with that level 1, because we mentioned that feels kind of unlaneable. We'll talk about it in a second, actually. Svenskeren maybe finally eating the invade that Contractz is setting up. All the sweeper doesn't catch him. Love the intuition there from Contractz, but Svenskeren just a little too far south to be picked up there.
Yeah, knowing that he had to base right away, not bothering for a gank. So it's going to put Contractz in the position where he's got to think, what is Svenskeren up to now? I think with the information given, it's safe to assume exactly what Svenskeren did, and that he's going to have to pass to the top side now. But a gank in mid lane.
Mid lane wrap, nice from Contractz. First stun, there's the second backup connecting, coming in clutch! That's Soligo picking up first blood.
So easy when your mid laner is not packing cleanse. The stun CC is a breeze, and it's going to be at level 6 where Mordekaiser is going to be able to survive this. So for now, Hunted Thieves can return to this lane and get some more gold.
No, yeah, just a big wave pushed in actually by Soligo. So I can't blame Brandini for TPing there, but this is the other side of that early red buff. It is 20 CS up right now for Kumo versus FakeGod. At one point, it was like 24-1.
Yeah, it actually was really bad, and Svenskeren's devoting a lot of attention to this lane. This is easy. This is exactly how you want to see it. So the addition of the stun bar in the top in the top of the champion is a really great tooltip to teach people how to chain CC properly. You never want that bar to drop. When they have flash, you must keep the stun going the entire time.
It's almost like, you know, this is how dead you are.
Yeah.
It was definitely going to get hit by Winter's fight. The Contractz maybe fancying a dive, does not go for it here. Top lane, FakeGod. They're going to be food. Svenskeren waits it out. Ooh, good trade back. Sven goes down. Kumo does get the kill, but it looked a little messy.
And he's going to be able to teleport and not actually miss a lot in this lane. Yeah, he's getting crushed in the CS department, but when you have this much attention in the top lane for EG, the last thing you want to do is give back gold to the guy that you're supposed to beat up.
Yeah, and Kumo picks up a Vamp Scepter and a Longsword, and looks like he is going to be walking back. So FakeGod has time now to finally recoup some of that CS deficit. Also 10 ahead for Soligo after that great gank from Contractz, so pretty interesting to see that different lanes start at very different places. It's only the bot lane that's been quiet. There's Deftly and Prismal farming pretty happily beside each other.
No action bottom lane, very safe for both of these guys. And even though Kumo's gonna fall so far ahead in this matchup, he's still in danger of the Elise and Aatrox gank. No matter how far ahead he gets, a stun lands, you are gonna get one shot. So he needs to always respect the jungler, which is part of the responsibility of Svenskeren to track where Contractz goes.
Also, the niceties in bot lane may be ending, as that's triple Doran's Blade for Prismal, with Contractz revisiting the lane.
Look at Soligo, he's gonna go for an ultimate here.
Good call, Crumbs. Moves in for it, Contractz. They get knocked up by Matt. Good disengage TP to counter. A little too deep for Kumo to potentially cut somebody off, so he's just going to walk back to lane. That top lane lead starting to fade away.
Yeah, I really don't like that teleport. You're playing Lucian to get ahead in lane, to build a lead for yourself, and then snowball that way. This is not a champion that can really help with a teleport. So now he just gave Aatrox some more CS back. He's got a kill. I think FakeGod is happy now. He got to crash the wave, and it resets.
Yeah, gold actually not too bad. 300 up right now for Kumo. His 100 Thieves quick onto this Ocean Drake with all the happenings around. Ooh, using Contractz to reset it, but he'll be back in business in just no time. Not sure Deftly and Matt can make it out in time to try and contest. It looks like the answer is no. Prismal, though, may be in trouble as a result. Gonna potentially get snared, switches guns, starts shooting, puts the turret down.
No flash on Deftly, so if Contractz can flash Cocoon, they can get out of Matt.
Got exhaust as well, they want Deftly. They do get the Cocoon down, beautifully played by 100 Thieves. They're gonna move in for the next kill as well. Matt getting low, repel down Contractz. He gets smell blood, gets it, grabs the double kill, and gets himself killed under the turret for good measure.
I say that's worth. You got so much out of EG and the Dragon as well. EG's not answering with anything else on the top side of the map, so this is a big win for 100 Thieves.
Couldn't agree more. So watch this one again. I like this from EG, just trying to 2v1 Prismal, but Prismal just hightails out of there, and Now EGA like, oh, they took the Drake,
So-
I think we're dead.
I don't actually like this move from Evil Geniuses because no one is on their side of the map. You just saw the dragon being taken, your Lee's in the top side, mid lane is stale, and you 100% know that Elise is there. So even if you were to kill the Aphelios or get some out of him, I think you're still going to go down.
Well, aggression from Contractz pays off despite the trade in kills. He's 2-1-1 right now. Quickly moving in towards that AP jungle enchant. Kumo assisting his team briefly on that Rift Herald, but looks like EG will eventually be able to trade objectives cross-map. Kumo still continuing to apply plenty of pressure in his 1v1 versus FakeGod.
With that Cutlass, he's just so annoying with the sustain and being able to kite away from Aatrox. As long as he saves his E, Aatrox can never be the aggressor on this matchup.
Contractz trying to clear this ward. Sven is level 6, but doesn't have access to his trinket right now. Does have a control ward, but decides against chasing the Elise too far.
Curious to see where Sven uses this Herald, and he wants to use it fast because he is stifling his ability to ward hop as Lee Sin. One of your biggest playmaking tools is that ward hop. If you don't have that, you can't be as aggressive as you'd like to be. You cannot put yourself in the positions that he has been for the past few minutes, invading so much of Contractz' jungle. So the longer he keeps it, the more passive he'll likely have to play in his own jungle, and that's just not what he's been doing all game long.
Feels like mid lane is the best candidate right now, as Soligo does have the push. But Brandini able to pretty aggressively clear waves as they crash in, so it does seem like another play bot lane. This time, though, both junglers will be here in the area. Oh, Sven gonna recall now.
Got the completed jungle item. Oh, no, just the 2 components.
Doesn't seem like Sven has an obvious target just yet for the Herald.
I think top or mid, the solo lanes, right? That's where you've been playing this whole time. That's the easiest place to answer, because if you were to pop that in the bottom lane, you're probably going to instigate a giant party with Pantheon jumping in, with FakeGod having his ultimate or teleport back up by the time that happens. And if you use it in the top lane, you might be able to even get yourself 2 Rift Heralds. Now that Contractz showed bottom, I think this is the play.
Good call. You did say that, you know, Lucian can't maybe get as many plates as he used to. Well, this will change that.
He's not using it.
Not yet. Maybe waiting for a health threshold. FakeGod can't do anything right now. His jungler
This
not
is
in
the
the area.
sign. You just saw the Elise away. They gotta pop this.
Svenskeren, though, fighting his time for whatever reason. Interesting decision, not too sure on that, but 100 Thieves continuing to push on the other side. There we go, now going to be summoned. They will get the first tower here. Svenskeren going to zone off FakeGod, take the Krugs. And that gold will go over to Kumo. A huge amount of gold given over to EG.
100 Thieves is committing for the play bottom. Soligo's moving down. See if he can find a grand Skyfall, but no, it's just going to be a easy breezy first turn trade.
Yeah, it looks like 100 Thieves have enough bullets left in the Aphelios gun. To take tower aggro, so may have to delay for an extra wave here. Also a Drake back up in 45 seconds, but not something they can immediately leap onto after pressuring this bottom tower. And it does actually look like they might be thinking about a reset, because
Yeah, this is the time to reset. You can't wait any longer. If you want to fight for this dragon, by the time you base and make it back, dragon's going to be like 5 seconds from spawning. And if you don't have a safe route that has been cleared of vision, you're just not going to make it. Instead, they're going to opt to deny Evil Geniuses' recall as they stay healthier. So this dragon fight is going to be a battle of attrition here.
yeah, they actually stayed in that brush, then Prismal ulted them to cancel the recalls. But now definitely might have to stay for a wave, as Prismal's looking for pot shots here and there. But actually bought enough time for the Drake to spawn. 100 Thieves going to stick to the plan and try and grab their second Drake for themselves.
They need to do it now. They know that Deftly doesn't have teleport. He's basing. This is the time to go for this play. If they don't pull the trigger, they are going to lose it, because Deftly will have come back.
Matt, at least, is staying on the map. Trying to make sure that they can contest for this objective. 100 Thieves not playing too quickly here, just wanting to suss out the situation first. And minions finally get the job done for the Thieves in bot lane, as they'll take out the tower.
Still no focus on this dragon. They just have sight on Lee Sin going into this red side jungle. They suspect that he's there. The question mark pings, but still no focus on anything else from the Thieves.
Well, maybe check back in with his solo lanes here. Brandini actually down in farm, but at least getting the lane pushing. I think Soligo has not spent his money in quite a while with 2,000 in the bank. I think that's a fairly safe assumption. Kumo, though, has indeed cashed in for the Blade of the Ruin King and is still maintaining a healthy CS lead.
Well, we'll have to see if that lead translates to any major objective or a team fight win, because for now, sure, it's a fed Lucian, but you know that Aatrox can always deliver in the team fight. The champion is crazy good. Once he hits that 2-item power spike of the Black Cleaver and Death Dance, he'll be hitting like a truck, and no one will have remembered what happened in the laning phase.
Contractz at least does solo the Drake out, and it will be the Cloud Rift for this go-round. Looks like duo lanes have also transferred mid. Svenskeren back behind them, but looks like he's taking a shortcut towards his red side jungle.
I think the most impactful aspect of the Cloud Dragon is actually the map changes, the speed, just allowing players to contest every fight across the map makes for a lot of action, and that's what I hope is going to happen now that we're hitting a kind of lull in the mid game. No objectives to fight for. Everyone's moving really fast. Lots of CC. Let's fight.
Is it your favorite Rift transformation?
No.
No?
No.
Which one's your favorite soul, your favorite like transformed Rift?
Oh. Yes, actually, it is my favorite
Yeah?
one. Yeah, I don't like the ocean one. There's too much grass on
I
my
really like
screen.
that one.
It's just so much stuff going on. I don't like the fire one. I feel naked. Like the map is exposed. And then the rock one, I don't get the placement of the rocks. I just want speed, so I like the cloud one.
That's fair. I have seen, actually JJ especially from FlyQuest Academy, he loves to sit behind the rock that kind of blocks the red buff and Raptor entrance.
Yeah.
He just sits behind there with his hook champions and waits for someone to walk in.
Exactly. So the kind of picks that he plays are what he's basing his favorite dragon transformations off of, whereas I'm going to keep saying this, I'm a Phil player now.
Oh, that's true.
The most
This is
overall
officially a Phil player.
transformation is the wind.
I like Ocean because I think it's, to me, it feels like the most dramatically different. Like, adding brush just feel like, versus adding walls or taking down walls or adding speed trines,
You
basically.
have not been beat up by a Rengar on an ocean dragon.
Oh, no, that's happened. That's definitely happened to me. It felt awful. But when there's no Rengar, it's great.
The extra honeydew is a really good addition because
Oh, yeah.
you can use the inside of the jungle to kind of refresh, which gives, I think, a different dynamic to the team fights inside the jungle, as well as the routes that people can take. Oh, I lost lane. I don't have to just go to river and heal up. I can go into the jungle, get a camp, and then appear somewhere else.
All right, we're back. Mid lane, brief stint of action, but subsides fairly quickly. Also on Ocean Rift, I like the bit of brush in the back of the pits. It's just so troll. The junglers can hide in there.
Yeah.
They're trying to do, it's great. Love it. Love it. All right, well. So I cloud this game, so we'll hold our horses.
Okay, so Kumo still wants to lane against FakeGod, picking up the Executioner's Calling, being a very solid item against Aatrox.
If he side lanes all game, he's happy.
Yeah,
Don't
and
really want to leave if you don't have to.
EG would be happy as well, but their foreman is not strong at all. It really is just Deftly because Brandini just takes somebody out, right? So it ends up being a 1v1 and a 3v3. So yeah, you want Xayah Rakan on that 3v3, but with Elise in, it's so difficult mechanically to execute properly that I worry for EG to be able to pull off that 3-on-3 well, just because of the intensity and the mechanics necessary.
Well, despite how well Kumo's individual lane is going, the gold is actually even between the two teams. And game state really sitting even as well with 2 Drakes for 100 Thieves that's basically been traded for the 2 Rift Heralds over the course of the game. Svenskeren did just pick up the second one and will likely look to break mid with it. Contractz fishing for a stun. Does not connect onto Deftly and Matt.
It's been traded for Rift Heralds, but the gold is still in the favor of the Thieves. They were the ones that lost turrets. They were the ones losing the plates and having that brutal matchup in the top lane. So a really nice recovery that with an Aphelios hitting the mid-game should be really scary. I mean, this champion is still a mystery to most people that see it.
It is 1,500 gold ahead for Kumo, just to put a number on that individual lead. But as you said, the Thieves still holding a few hundred gold in the lead. So not too worried at this point. FakeGod has been able to pick up what CS can. And teams really just trying to crack through this mid lane here.
A big source of the damage for Thieves is for 100 Thieves is going to be Contractz. He's going with the Sword Shoes, very strong on the Elise, the only real magic damage threat here. So as long as he's hitting those cocoons, he'll be able to pop any member from EG that jumps in. There's no Merc Treads, it's only Tabis, no magic resistance. So this is exactly what Elise wants to be doing, and it's important that she plays accordingly as a damage threat and not just SEC.
Matt going in, gets one charm onto Breezzyy as he looks for Contractz, but the repels did save him. Starfall in though for Soligo. And Kumo's now caught out in the pit. He's in the speed train dancing around, but the fight's kind of starting on the other side. Into the death realm goes FakeGod. Is Brandini going to try and win a lopsided 1v1? And FakeGod's, it's kind of a struggle, but now he comes up. Brandini going to be forced to be saved by Matt as he dives back in and finds a knock-up. But in the front line, Brandini not going to last too much longer. Prismal able to find the snipe onto Matt. And that's 2-0 in favor of Thieves.
Here comes Elise. They could go for even more.
We're going to try something, but 5v5, pure 5v5, not working out. Sven going to get stunned. Chase is there. Ulti does not connect. As a quick safeguard there from Sven does save him.
The Thieves will win almost every 5v5. The ease of execution is too easy for them. It's Cocoon, it's Braum, one of the easiest CCs to hit in the game. And then you've got Pantheon, point and click. Matt, all skill shots on his engage. Same thing with Svenskeren. And then you've got Kumo, who cannot actually start a fight, and Brandini, who takes himself out willingly. So it is really tough for Evil Geniuses to come up with an engage that is on their turn.
Yeah, strongest player Kumo is also stuck in the pit, so 100 Thieves leap at the chance for a fight here.
A good job from 100 Thieves to clear out the minion wave while the fight is happening so that they have that little advantage here in the mid lane.
Contractz looks like he completely zoned out Kumo from that fight. And then it was two pretty easy picks for 100 Thieves. They take the mid tower, taking the lead in structures as well. And Svenskeren still with his Herald. They were the ones that wanted to crack a tower. Still looking to try and engage here, but Contractz ever so slippery on the Elise.
Oh God, just the damage from the Elise right now is crazy.
Sven getting low. Prismal also finds that ulti with Infernum for a second time, I believe. But Sven just has to run out of there. 100 Thieves still chasing. Find the first stun. Brandini down. They find the second as well as Deftly falls without his ulti. Sven channels the Herald that might have been timing out. But EG just getting picked off by these Elise cocoons.
Let me free. Set him free. He's now finally alive on the rift, but doesn't get anything done. Just wanted to be put out of the misery.
50 extra gold for somebody. Looks like Prismal will take the prize. Oh, it was 25 and it was for Soligo. As Cloud Drake goes over to 100 Thieves, continuing to mount that objective advantage.
Yeah, this is just clinical at this point from 100 Thieves. They understand how much stronger than Evil Geniuses they are in the team fights, and they're just going to continue to look for these 5v5 fights. Notice how much more the Elise is affecting these fights than the Lee Sin. Just chucking out a Spiderling is already enough to get everybody on EG to walk away.
And then again, everyone just splashes in. First bit of CC lands, and it's just that easy after that.
I don't know what everybody threw out there, but it seemed like it was everything and the kitchen sink.
That's a lot of Aphelios flames.
Yeah.
We may not yet know fully what Aphelios does, because it was a lot of reading, but I can tell you Prismal knows what's going on with this champion. 3-0 and 3 gold bounty mounting. In fact, the central part of the Thieves there, sitting at 7, 1, and 9 collectively.
Only the highest IQ gamers can play Aphelios.
That's what it feels like, and that certainly ain't me. Matt, again, getting aggressive. Svenskeren though the target. Soligo charges in. That's going to be one stun and done as Kumo goes down with Prismal on a rampage. Continuing to throw Q. Soligo looking to chase onto Sven. Breezzyy gets tagged. The EG just can't safely move through the contested areas of the map without just eating a face full of stuns and DPS.
They can't team fight at all. There's no way for them to win in a team fight without a massive blunder from 100 Thieves. Another hook is Sorry, Cocoon is going to catch.
It's Brandini, Death Realm maybe saves him here. Trying to kite it out. FakeGod trying to keep him busy in the meantime. Good hook back, Contractz repels out. Comes back down, there's Svenskeren looking for the kick. But a great stopwatch there from Prismal. Still needs to keep himself alive. Tagged by the ulti, that's the stun. FakeGod finds the dunk. And Prismal making it look so good on the Aphelios.
Oh, they can't even catch Breezzyy out. Svenskeren didn't check that Prismal had a stopwatch available, makes a fool of himself, and now the team fights are even more in the favor of 100 Thieves. And I want to go back to the point about the draft where EG committed so many resources to the laning phase that they forgot to pick anything that was going to be useful in the team fights. And this is what has happened. They didn't close out a game in 15 minutes because nobody can. And now they can't team fight.
Yeah, it certainly feels like a scenario where when you start falling behind, it does only get worse. But the Thieves are just going in at this point. They know where they're at.
Movement fight. That's a 4v2 that ends up being a 3v2 after Brandini uses his ultimate. And this would have been really sick, and I think he should have tried to go for a kick after, but he's just so squishy. He doesn't have that much time.
And then Matt goes in, Breezzyy gets out. 100 Thieves just getting away with everything at this point. Oh, ulti gonna miss just barely. But Soligo not gonna miss. Good kick from Sven to disengage. Matt re-engage, goes in with the ulti. Gets one for the charm, but a nice repel. But Contractz keeps him safe as Breezzyy does get charmed on the back end of it all. Kumo does not get tagged by a skill shot, so will live this time.
100 Thieves wins that 3v3, so they need to be very careful about how they approach it. They have essentially 3 invulnerabilities between Repel, Unbreakable from Braum, and then pseudo-unbreakable, or more unbreakable from Pantheon, because for some reason that thing blocks Ignites.
Even less breakable. As tower goes down in mid, Thieves claim the tier 2, and now this gold lead's looking very different from the last time we checked in. 5k up for 100 Thieves. And it's not, you know, EG need to do something, right? Like, I get why they're looking for picks, but when anyone else shows up, it's just so tough.
Yeah, and I really wonder what this game would have looked like if Brandini was playing Mordekaiser top and Lucian middle. I think it would have been safer on mid against Elise Pantheon.
Oh, Kumo, very unsafe at this point. The tag team of jungler and support as Contractz racks up a 3rd kill. Gets kicks, finds another cocoon. Auto in, repel down. No follow-up there. Just again, EG have to try something, but the margins on these plays are very thin, Crumbs.
What can they try? It's got to be Svenskeren getting a God ultimate or a really good quickness from Matt, and it needs damage. The CC is not enough. So when you look at who's going to deal the damage, I'm coming up blanks.
It feels like you have to trick Prismal into dying somehow. And I think given how he's
Mind control, I see what you're going for.
given how he's playing, I don't think that's going to happen. Looking really sharp on this Aphelios. 4-0-4 now. So racking up the KDA is EG continuing to try and look for picks. Contract's gonna face check. Oh, Matt stunned, attempting a dash, and 100 Thieves leap at the opportunity for more kills. Good Braum ulti. Soligo's in there. Good double root. Soligo with the first kill. Matt gonna flash out, gets exhausted. Good juke away from the cocoon. Contractz thought he had it. Sven gets out, but the Thieves will take the Drake instead. I think Contractz, though, wants the kill he believes he deserves.
They want them all.
Svenskeren, yep, gets cute. See you later. And Drake goes over as well. The Thieves just chasing down their prey.
They're going to chase even more now. They're faster with the Wind Dragon Ocean Soul, or Wind Dragon Soul.
Windy Rift does mean some speedy kills. Stun lands onto Brandini, but he's actually somewhat robust at this point.
Well, at least he's got that going on for him, but he doesn't offer wave clear, which is one of the big problems that Mordekaiser mid has. So you're going to have to put the Xayah into the mid lane, somebody else into the side lane. Such a slow-moving composition now that Thieves has that extra movement speed to just run them around the rift wherever they please.
Doesn't offer smite either, so that's an easy Baron after the jungler being felled for 100 Thieves. Prismal's finally going to go back and spend some money. We'll see what he gets in just a moment. 3 items there for Soligo in the mid lane. But Leandri's Torment on top of the enchanted jungle item there for Contractz, so he's racking up the deeps, as you mentioned, Crumbs.
I think he might actually end up having the highest damage in the game. There's just no MR. That's exactly how Elise shines, getting all that extra penetration, the damage burn from Leandries, just perfect for her.
And Contractz is just hunting them at this point. Very fitting for Elise. Just walking in, has a stopwatch at the ready, knows he has at least some extra safety alongside the repel, despite not having a flash. And we'll see what 100 Thieves can do with this Baron. Remember, both these teams still searching for their first win here in Academy. For EG, you can understand the situation of important is not ideal for the start of the season. But 100 Thieves certainly take it. With players new and old looking good.
And they're looking good in improvement from their last game, being able to accelerate the pace of the game between Elise and Pantheon. The 2v2, the mid lane jungle duo, the most important synergy in the game. Well, yes, I'll stand by that.
I'm there with you. 100 Thieves take the top tier 2. Looking to crack open the ever delicious inhibitors. And really get the game moving towards its final point. 10k up pretty much for the Thieves as well, as Deftly is forced to ulti away from the incoming Aphelios ulti. It's because he's got the Gravitum, who's being rooted in place. Probably not a very pleasant experience. Here we go, Soligo! Big flank, Matt. Ooh, almost gets sniped. Does charm, but that's an Ignite plus an auto for the kill, and the tower's gonna fall, and looks like the rest of EG may go with it. Brandini stopwatches, Contractz shuts that down, and they're gonna take 2 inhibs minimum here, as they might just push in and end the game.
Not a very inspired attempt to engage there with Brandini ulting Breezzyy into the Shadow Realm.
Gotta try something. Thieves, though, are just gonna put the capstone on this game. They get the stuns, they'll grab the kills. That's an ace to end it all. Don't even need the second inhib. 100 Thieves gonna bounce back and pick up their first win of the 2020 Academy season.
Only 2 players died on the 100 Thieves side. 3 went deathless, which is as good a game as you could have possibly imagined.
15 kill participations there for Contractz out of the 18 kills that happened. He's checking the damage graph, by the way. Before he's even walk over and shake their hands, he's clicking on it. He'll let you know on Twitter what's going on there. But 100 Thieves, well-fought victory. I think once they realized the position the game was in, did an excellent job of just being, oh, we can just fight them.
Yeah,
Go fight them.
Yeah, we're just way stronger. We have all of these team fighting tools that are so easy to pull off versus one of the toughest in the game. Rakan Lee in for your engage. Talk about an uphill battle.
And look, risky draft for EG. They knew what they were getting into, you know, trying to give Kumo a very, very strong lane champion and snowball from there. But FakeGod just said, okay, you know what? This happened to me in LCS a lot. I accepted that sometimes we're going to get some bad lanes and have to play weak side.
It's interesting to see that these are risky drafts on the first week. Right? Out of the week that you would expect the easiest drafts to happen, the most simple way to win, they've chosen to go the complete opposite direction.
It's just, again, so different, the situation for EG. Still waiting for their intended players. Unfortunately, are going through some visa issues. So I'm really excited to see what the new players look like on EG. For now, between Kumo and Sven marathoning games and Brandini lane swapping, it's not the same.
No, not at all. I mean, it's going to be maybe even more inspiring for the returning players now that they're, okay, it's an uphill battle, right? We started from a deficit, got a long ways to catch back up now with the standings, so they'll have to give it their all and learn a little bit faster, and that might be the motivation they need to get this team to defy the expectations that have been set for them.
Well, there's certainly a lot of action throughout this game, so we'll take a look at the highlights here. First things first, this is a really great move from Contractz as they look to turn around after taking the Drake. Breezzyy in there, the new player, starting things off.
Love that move out of him with the flash exhaust, knowing that keeping Deftly as still as possible was going to be the key to getting all those kills there.
Appreciate that from Contractz too. Just follow Flash insta, knowing that even if he died, he wanted that second kill. You can see again, 100 Thieves just kind of corralling EG. Soligo had some great Pantheon ults as well this game.
And notice how here, 100 Thieves just had complete vision of the river. They have control wards, cleared out what EG had. So EG's going into this fight with less information than the Thieves are, which makes it so much tougher for them to know what is the right time to re-engage.
Also, one of the unique things of Mord ult is, you know, you might trap someone in the death realm with you. Your teammates also cannot help you. As Matt, I think, desperately wanted to try and save his teammates. Great ult there from Prismal. As 100 Thieves once again leap for a few more. Some Aphelios stuff happened here, for sure.
Yeah, he changes guns and he runs people down with them.
This Infernum did quite a lot of work. 100 Thieves just diving recklessly at this point onto EG as we'll watch a bit more of that.
This is another opening with a Cocoon. The pairing of the jungle support from Breezzyy and Contractz was phenomenal this game. And that's why you pick Elise and Braum. Those two are part of one of the strongest pairings for 2v2ing because Elise gets to be ranged form, helps you auto-attack those Braum passive stacks, and then when she chooses to go for the Cocoon, she can combo it once Braum has done his stun as well. So it's just such a strong synergy between those two that just outclasses what Lucian and Rakan can do when they have to use creativity and skill shots to outdo just simple button mash.
Yeah, you saw in that last play, like Sven tried everything he could to get the key kill with Prismal, and Prismal was just like, I have a watch, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
What
And Repel.
Oh, that's true.
And
yeah.
Unbreakable.
I'm actually kind of now surprised that Contractz died even once. But, oh, it's because he dove the tower for the kill.
Yeah.
Now I remember. Okay, I take it back. He's great. When we come back, TSM Academy will take on TL Academy. Don't go anywhere.
But a gank in mid lane.
Mid lane wrap, nice from Contractz. First stun, there's the second backup connecting, coming in clutch!
Going.
Side no flash, no R.
Okay.
Ward no flash, no flash.
This champ is broken.
Okay, nice.
Comes back down, there's Svenskeren looking for the kick! But a great stopwatch there from Prismal, still needs to keep himself alive. Tag by the ulti, there's the stun, FakeGod finds the dunk!
Kill Mord.
Get both waves, get both waves
Yeah.
of that.
Wait,
Get
we
both
can
waves of
end,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. We can use both waves. Can you help me?